The squat's one of the foundational movements. In the squat, I like to use the cues heels, hips, and hands. I'm going to go through a squat with Eve. We're going to take it nice and slow, and then we'll do some full speed squats. Starting with the heels, they are shoulder width apart. Notice I said heels and not toes. Ensure that it's the heels you're looking at when you look down and get shoulder width apart. The hips are completely open. The hands, you'll want a place to start out with just in front of the hips. When we start a squat, the first thing we're going to do is push the hips back a little bit. Pushing the hips back is the same thing you're going to do if you're going to sit down on a chair. The hands are going to come up right in front of the belly button. As we start to bend the knees, the weight is going to transition down onto the heels so that you could actually tap your toes if you wanted to. The hips are below the plane of the knees. The hands come all the way up in front of the face so that your chest stays high. All the way up. Going again, we're going to do hips back, hands coming up, all the way down until you break that parallel plane and back up. Hips back, hands up. Good. Always staying on the heels. Good. Now let's run through about 5 squats, 5 to 10 squats at full speed. Good. Remember, when doing any exercise, technique is more important than intensity. So ensure you're maintaining those cues, heels, hips, and hands.
Hello, I'm Kyle Bear, and your next in-home leg workout will be the forward lunge. The forward lunge is going to focus on the quadriceps, which is the front part of the leg, the hamstrings, which is the back, and the glutes. Carrie's going to start with her feet together. She's going to have her hands at her side. She's going to try and keep her hips to her neck in an inline neutral position as she lunges out with her left leg. She comes down, and then she'll come back to that same starting position. So here, go ahead and lunge forward with your left, Carrie, and pause. From the down position, she's making sure that her knee is behind her heel, that this front knee does not come over her toes, and that she's keeping from her hips to her shoulders in an inline position. So one more time. Down and back up. Good. And we'll switch legs. Down and pause. So again, you can come all the way down to the ground, Carrie. So this knee can come in slight contact with the ground. She's just making sure that this heel, the front heel, is in front of the rear knee, and that this front knee is not over her toes. And then as you can see, her hips are in a perfect position, so her back is in an inline neutral position. She's keeping her head and her eyes forward. And then she comes back up, and that is the forward lunge.
I'm going to be showing you how to do side lunges. Self-explanatory, just like the front lunge, just like the back lunge, except we're going to take it to the side. Abs nice and tight, hands on hips. I always stress hands on hips because I don't want you using your arms for balance, I want you using this. Big step out to the side, we lunge to the side, and we come back up to center. Notice, this leg stays straight, I take a big step out, and I'm driving off this heel, to get me back center, okay? We're using quads, we're using hamstrings, we're using glutes. Out to the side, back up. You can make this exercise a little bit harder, increase the intensity and your core balance by coming up and lifting your foot. I'm coming down, notice my foot is not touching the ground anymore. This is how you can make this exercise a little bit harder, okay? Out to the side, driving up, okay? Leg is doing a lot of work because it's got to get you from here to here. This is a high rep exercise. I like having my clients do it about 20 on each leg, back and forth. You can also alternate, side to side. That's your side lunge. Remember, core is tight, hands on hips. I want you balancing, using this. Whatever leg you're not stepping out with, stays straight. Big step out to the side. Driving off that heel. Back to center where you're up nice and tall. There's your side lunge.
Hello, I'm Kyle Berry, and your next in-home leg workout would be the reverse lunge. So it's the opposite of the forward lunge. Carrie's going to turn to the side here. And in order to focus on the hamstrings and the glutes, she's actually going to lunge behind her, keeping her hips and her shoulders in line. So with her right leg, step back, and then proceed down, and then pause. You can go ahead and rest on the ground here, Carrie. So again, she wants to keep this front knee behind her toe. This is going to keep stress off the actual kneecap. You can brush the ground with your rear knee, but you're trying not to rest typically. And then she's going to have a nice flex foot on that back side, so she's on her toe. Her torso is perfectly in line, and her hands are on her hips to help her keep her balance. And she's looking forward, and then she comes back up, and then she'll switch legs. Down and back up. Now the positive portion of this exercise, go down, Carrie, is the difficult part. So as she comes up, she's exhaling. And then she comes back to the front, and then as she goes back down, she's inhaling. So breathing is still very important on all these leg workouts. So you want to inhale through the easy part and exhale through the hard part. So the positive being the difficult part, and that is the reverse lunge.
Hey, it's Coach Nick Tuminello. I represent my boys at High Leap Clothing. I'm going to show you the perfect burpee. So everybody's done burpees before. Some people call it squat thrust, and this is how I normally see it done. Hands in front of the feet, like here, come back. Hands in front of the feet. Some people even sag and come back. So here's the way we do it at Performance University. We think it's a little bit more hip, less problem on the back. Check this out. We start with a wider stance. The hands go in between the feet. And you notice I'm using my legs to get down there as opposed to my back to get down there. So I come down, hands between the feet, jump back stiff, and then hands go, or feet go on the outside of my hands. Look at the back position like a deadlift, and then I stand up. If you want to add the jump in there, that's cool, but it's boom, 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 boom. If you want to add the jump, fine. But that's what we consider the perfect burpee. The biggest thing is feet are wider, hands are inside the feet, and I'm bending at my knees more like a deadlift, knees and hips, instead of just having my feet together and just bending all over and getting all that flexion at my back. That's especially important, not only because you want to save your back, but you're getting a little bit more leg work, makes the exercise more metabolic.
Okay, now I am going to demonstrate how to do a Russian twist. And what you're going to start with is your feet flat on the floor, 90-degree angle, and then you're going to kind of tilt backwards and lift them off the floor, about 45 degrees, okay? And you're going to twist. Pretend you can either actually just do it with your body weight, or if you had a medicine ball or a dumbbell, you can do that variation as well to add weighted resistance. But you're going to twist. Try to look straight ahead, so you're not really kind of getting dizzy, so to speak. You just want to look straight ahead, twist your torso, not your head, keeping your neck neutral, okay? And you can do this for about a minute. Try it for a minute if you can. You can always work up to a minute if it's still too difficult. But everything starts in moderation. So you can always, progression is the most important part of anything when you exercise. You always have to start where you can keep up with it, and then you can make it more advanced. Okay? So notice I still lean slightly back, and I'm exhaling as I twist. So on the contraction is when you turn the torso. Try to be careful and not move your legs. You want to keep them as still as possible when you're twisting. Okay, that will create the sense of feeling it more in the oblique region when you twist. And that is the proper way to do a Russian twist.
Hi, it's Rachel Cosgrove for Sleek Strong. The exercise we're going to do today is an inchworm. The inchworm is going to work your shoulders, your core, and it's going to give you a nice stretch of your hamstrings. This exercise is really going to get you warmed up for your workout. So you're going to go ahead and start with your feet shoulder width apart, and you're going to keep your legs nice and straight as you bend down and touch your hands as close as you can to your feet. From there, you're going to walk your hands out one at a time, really keeping those legs straight as you go. Keep walking until you're out into a push-up position, keeping the core tight in a nice straight line, not letting your hips sag, but also not raising those hips up. So right in between. If you can, keep walking those hands over your head, all the way out there, really putting some pressure on your core. And then you're going to go ahead and walk right back up, all the way to those feet, legs stay straight, and stand back up. Using this exercise before your workout is going to get your shoulders warmed up, your core engaged, and stretch out those hamstrings to get you ready for your workout. I'm Rachel Cosgrove for Sleek Strong.
I'm going to show you how to do the sumo squat. Sumo squat, just the same as a regular squat, except my legs are going to be a lot wider. Some of you ladies might have heard this called a plie squat. It's the same exact thing. I'm going to show you how it's done right now. We're going to come up. I'm in the squat rack here. I'm going to walk up to my bar, placed a little bit lower than shoulder level so I'll be able to unrack. It's going to come right back here, right on my back. Split stance always to unrack. My core is tight. I'm keeping this bar stabilized. The stance for the sumo squat is wide. Nice wide stance. Notice my feet are further apart than shoulder width and my toes are pointed out. My chest is going to stay high. My abs are going to be tight. And what I'm going to do, just like a squat, I'm sitting back in the chair. I'm coming down till my upper legs are parallel with the floor. And I'm driving back up through my heels. I inhale on the way down. And I exhale on the way up. This is a great exercise. It's catching a little bit more of that inner thigh than a normal squat does. Down and back up, squeezing your glutes at the top. Rep range, anywhere from 8 to 12 is great. Ladies, if you want to make this a little bit harder, we can hold it in the squat position and really fire up those inner thighs. Just if you want to switch it up a little bit. When we're finished, walk those feet back into center. We're going to walk back forward. We're going to rack it up. That's the sumo squat. Remember, feet are a whole lot wider than your regular squat. Toes are pointed out. Chest up, head up, sitting back in that chair, up and down. That's the sumo squat.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Serge from BloomToFit.com. Thanks for stopping by. I want to give you guys a quick demonstration of one of my favorite cardio and core strengthening exercises, and that's the mountain climber exercise. Now, I use this exercise in a lot of my boot camps, and personally I use it for my interval training, and I like to mix it a lot with kettlebell swings during my kettlebell workouts. It's a neat little exercise, so let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so what you want to do is start off in a plank position, with your arms fully extended, something like this. Your body should be aligned from head to heel, and you want to start bringing in one knee towards your chest at a time. Now, when you bring your knee in, you can choose to either keep your toes elevated, like this, or you can choose to touch the toe to the ground. You can do whichever one you feel more comfortable with. I like to mix it up, so this is what mine looks like. So that's the mountain climber exercise, and I encourage you guys to include it into your cardio days, throw it into your circuit training, combine it with your kettlebell workouts, especially kettlebell swings. That combination is great. Okay, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button and visit my blog at bloomtofit.com. See you guys next time.
Hey everyone, Alfonso Moretti, aka The Angry Trainer, and today I have another video, Exercise Rights and Wrongs, where I show you the right way to do an exercise that too many of you are doing wrong. The exercise I'm talking about today is actually two, plank and push-ups. Reason being, if you don't know how to do a plank correctly, you can't do a push-up correctly. The two go hand in hand. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the wrong way that people do planks. This is what you're going to see 99% of the time in the gym, and hopefully you're not doing it this way. Most people get into the plank, their elbows are in the right spot, their feet are in the right spot, but they have what I call saggy banana back. This is really, really bad for your lower back. It stretches your abdomen, and it's actually not doing anything for your core. What you want to do is, you want to get your butt up in the air, tuck your glutes underneath like you're flexing your abs, and then drop yourself down into a flat position. So you're basically doing a crunch, an air crunch if you want to. You don't want this, you want this. Keep yourself flexed and tight and squeeze as hard as you can. That's the right way to do a plank. Now, transitioning into the push-up position is equally as important, because this is how you see people do push-ups. They do push-ups like this, and they do this. Not any good. Shoulder blades are coming together. Once again, you need to get your butt underneath you, keep your body nice and rigid, deep breath on the way down, breathe out. Make sure you keep that. As soon as this starts to sag, you're going to lose all strength. Keep it tucked under, deep breath, breathe out. Another key point that people make a mistake with on the push-ups is their hand position. You want your hands wide enough that when you go down, you're in a 45-degree angle, and you want your hands under your shoulders. So you don't want to be like this. We've all seen this in the gym. You don't want to be like this, where your hands are close together with your elbows flaring out. Hands just outside shoulder width, directly under the shoulders, tuck the glutes, good plank position, big breath on the way down. Deep breath. That is how you do a correct plank and a correct push-up. Only do as many as you can do the right way. Next time, try to do one more. Before you know it, you'll be banging these out the correct way like they were nothing. Till next time, be well.
All right, the next exercise is one of the most essential exercises that you can do for your body. It's the single leg squat. The reason why it's very important, because of dominance of the left and right sides for individuals, people have a tendency to gain strength on one leg while limiting the strength of the other, asymmetry of the body, which will then lead to knee issues because there's imbalances through the lower back, the hamstrings, the quads, and pretty much the entire body. And this way, you're going to work on stability, balance, and control from the single leg to increase strength and balance out the left and right sides. All right, Catherine is going to demonstrate. This is a very difficult exercise, but it's going to take some trial and error to really get the hang of everything, because it's going to take some coordination and balance. Okay, first things first, she's going to start off standing on her right leg, which will more than likely be the dominant leg. Okay, she's going to extend this other leg straight. Okay, her arm's going to be extended straight. Chest is going to be punched out. Good. It's as if she's going to try to sit on something. Back. Keep going. Chest comes forward. Good. And then driving up. Good. Keeping that chest punched out. Coming down. Sinking down. Sinking down. Driving out. Good. Keeping those arms in line with the shoulders. And down. Good. And out. Good. Dropping that leg. Good. And out. You can drop that leg down. One thing you notice as she was pushing up, her shoulders had a tendency to raise up, which was releasing from destabilization through her core. So as you're going, keeping the posture is essential. With the chest punched out, shoulders pulled down and back as you execute. All right, she's then going to switch legs and repeat on the other side. Good, and up. As you notice, this is her non-dominant leg. You notice the instability, so you're going to really feel a difference and see the imbalances based on strength. Repeat again. Good. Try not to let that back roll out. Good. Keeping that back pressed out, sinking down. Good. And up and down. Okay. As you notice this difference between her left and right sides, it is imperative that you focus and to get the same range of motion from left and right. You will be better on one side, and if you continually do the same and do it well on the good side, and then don't try as hard because you don't feel as confident on it, the imbalances will continue. So really focusing on the instability of your non-dominant leg to gain balance between the left and right. Thanks, Cal.
With feet shoulder-width apart, lower into a squat, keeping your knees behind your toes. Pushing through your heels as much as you can, jump straight up with as much force as possible. As soon as you land, drop directly back into a squat position, getting ready to jump again. From a squat to a jump and back is 1 repetition.